Hello, my friends on YouTube and LinkedIn. Let me have a second to get our friends from my free Facebook group in here with us. If you're not in that group, by the way, you need to be there. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. Get visible, grow your email list and your income. You can promote your offers anytime, network with other people. It's amazing. All right, I do see that the live video is starting in my group. Give me one sec. Awesome. We are live in my group. And I'm going to kick off the comments there just to get that rolling because sometimes that doesn't work. All right. Happy Friday Eve day to everybody. You guys know how I like to do things around here. I go live every single week, every Thursday at 11:30 Central, and I use StreamYard so I can get the most bang for my live buck. And I am live right now in my free Facebook group that I just mentioned to you. I'm live over on my YouTube channel and on LinkedIn. Wherever you're coming in from, put something in the comments for me. And if you're listening on replay, I love that. Let me know that you're listening on replay. All right, today, I bet this topic got your attention. What does it feel like to be ghosted? Iced, right? And from what I understand, the cool kids now say Caspering, but which I find hilarious because somebody pointed out the other day, Casper was a friendly ghost. But anyway, but whatever we call it, being ignored does not feel good. When people don't reply back to our text messages, our phone calls, our DMs, our emails. And today we're going to talk about why, and we're going to talk about the real reason that this happens, because I think it will surprise you. But first, just in case we're brand new to each other, I am Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach with over 25 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And about 7 years ago, I became completely fed up with my corporate career, and I hatched a plan to fully exit. And I built the business you see now alongside that corporate job and 2 very busy kids for about 1.5 years until I was able to fully leave. And I want to share with you that in my second full year as a business and sales coach in the online space, I busted through the 6-figure ceiling and I have not looked back. And I share that with you as inspiration, not to sound like I'm bragging, because I'm not. But if you want to build a multi-6-figure business, if you're tired of your corporate job, whatever the reason, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. As a business and sales coach, I call myself a visibility and list growth strategist also, because I teach all organic visibility and list growth strategies. And I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you to get visible and grow your email list so you can get that consistent monthly income that you really want. And the strategies that I teach get your leads coming in and your list growth happening automatically every day in the background of your business without paid ads or creating yet another free lead magnet. Now, if you are headed into Q2 next month in April, and you're thinking, I think it's time I hire a coach to help me because Q1 did not go as planned, reach out, DM me or email me. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about what coaching with me looks like. I've got 45-minute one-to-one sessions that are perfect for knocking out 1 to 2 things, and they're a bargain at only $187. One of my clients, I helped her very clearly map out her weekly schedule in order for her to see the actual priorities. And it was a weight lifted off her shoulders. Another client just reached out today and said, Tracy, I need help crafting some more lead magnets. I did a 45-minute session with someone last year at this time. And in 45 minutes, we mapped out 5 new lead magnet ideas, and she got those together and her list started growing again. All right, so let's jump into the topic. I'm going to just check really fast and make sure this is working. I think it is. Awesome. All right, let's jump into it. Being ghosted feels awful, right? And we were literally talking about this topic this morning. You guys know I have an 8-week group coaching program called Business Visibility Made Easy. And where I teach over 10 of my 10 strategies for list growth. And after the students go through the program, they are invited to join the Alumni Mastermind. And our calls are on Thursday mornings at 9:30 Central. So this morning, literally, we were having this conversation in our Alumni Mastermind about ghosting, about when people don't respond to us, how many times to follow up, all that stuff. Because being ignored feels awful. We all want to be seen, heard, validated. We want to be included, right? We all want to have a seat at the lunch table. And there's nothing worse than getting the silent treatment. When I was preparing for this, I remembered a time when I think I was in high school, and I made my mom so mad. And those of you that know me and know my mom, you know, she is the sweetest woman on the planet. So whatever I must have done must have been horrible. And she stopped talking to me for like 2 weeks. Total silent treatment. I had to go to my dad for everything. It was horrible. It was the worst. Being ghosted, being ignored, it feels awful. Building these businesses requires us to put ourselves out there and take that risk. We're continually making connections. We're continually networking, or you should be. We're continually meeting new people that could possibly be new clients, collaboration partners, referral partners. We're reaching out in the DMs. We're texting people we meet in person. We might even be using the good old-fashioned phone and calling people when we have their number, right? I don't know about you guys, but every time my phone rings, I look and I'm like, I want to answer that. So if you can be said in a text message, just text me. I digress. We are emailing our subscribers. We are extending an offer. And when we do, sometimes it's crickets, right? We extend the offer and we don't hear back. So why do potential clients ghost us? Why don't people reply to messages? And why do people ignore DMs and emails? And how do we get more responses from our leads? These are the questions that I know are on your mind. So tell me in the comments, when you get ghosted, what goes through your mind? Do you take it personally? I mean, I used to when I was first getting started in sales many, many years ago, and I quickly learned that some very important perspective shifts that I want to share with you guys to help you see this at a different angle. Those of you that are honest enough to say, yes, that's me, I've been ghosted. I want you to know it's normal. It's absolutely normal. And when you make up a story about it and you think it's something wrong with you, that's normal too. Our brains automatically assume it's personal, that we've done something wrong. So we end up telling ourselves crap stories like, oh, they must not like me. I must have said something wrong. They must think I am being salesy. Oh crap, I guess I just blew that potential interaction. They must think I'm a spammy weirdo. All right, what about these? Do you say those things? Do you say those things to you? And then also, let's keep going because this is kind of fun. Do you say these things? I must not be the coach I thought I was. I suck at sales. I'm never going to have another client. My offer must be the worst offer in the history of offers that were ever offered. I mean, it's like that Taylor Swift song. When I was preparing this training, I thought of that Taylor Swift song, you know, the one where she says, hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. It's like our brains automatically think we are the problem. We never stop to think that maybe, just maybe, there are a million reasons why somebody doesn't reply to us that maybe have nothing to do with us. Right? This mindset of blaming yourself or thinking you're the problem and the crap talk that we do as a result of it keeps us stuck. Stops us in our tracks from sending any more text messages, any more DMs, or making phone calls or sending emails. Because you're thinking, why would these people want to hear from us? Why would these people want to hear from me again? Because they haven't responded back. So then we get stuck in this crap talk loop. And it zaps our confidence, it drains our energy, and just really takes the wind out of our sails. And the crap talk, you've heard me say this a lot of times before, it's not based on fact. Rarely is the crap talk you're telling yourself based on fact. It comes from made up stories that our brains create in order to protect us. So I want you to shift this a bit. Let's look at this from a different angle. A new perspective, if you will. If our brains are going to make up stories to protect us, then let's make up some stories that really do protect us. And I know you're probably thinking, whatever, Tracy, because I know, I understand, but hear me out, okay? And this is kind of funny too. This will give you a little chuckle. The truth is, 90% of the time when someone does not respond to us, ghosts us, 90% of the time, it actually has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with you, your personality, your ability, your talent, your offer, nothing, nada, goose egg. There are so many reasons that people don't respond. So why don't we focus on these instead? Why don't we tell these stories to ourselves? When people do not respond to us, why don't we think, this is my favorite one. And if you follow me for any length of time, you've heard me say this before. I like to imagine that their cell phone fell in the toilet. They fully intended to respond to me. They were really excited about what I said, but their phone fell in the toilet, and now they're at the cell phone store taking out a small mortgage to buy another cell phone. And the last thing on their mind is returning my message because they've forgotten about it. That's a better story, don't you think? All right, here's another favorite one of mine. They cracked a tooth. Cracked a tooth. They were in so much pain. They're on pain meds until they could get to the dentist. Now they've been to the dentist and they're at home resting with ice packs on their face and higher than a kite on more pain meds. I'd prefer to tell myself that story, wouldn't you? All right, here's another one. I'm going to keep going because I think these are fun. All right, raise your hand if this has happened to you because I know it has happened to me. You're sitting at a stoplight. You see the message, the DM, the text, the voicemail. You can't wait to read it, really, or the email. And you're like, and you read it, and then the light turns green, and the maniac behind you lays on their horn to the point where it scares the bejesus out of you, and you totally forget to respond. And that DM notification is now gone. That email is now read. So there's no reminder for you to reply back. So what if your ideal client got your DM message? What about this one? What if they got your DM message? They really wanted to say yes, but they know they can't right now. And so they know they have to tell you no, but you are somebody that they really admire, and saying no to you is really uncomfortable, and they don't have the right words to say. Now that's real. That has happened to me. Tell me if it's happened to you, because I have a feeling that it has. Saying no to someone is not always easy. It's not fun. I just had to say that this week to a student in my program, and it was not comfortable. I had to have an uncomfortable conversation, and I could have avoided it, but that's not being a serious CEO, right? So if somebody really admires you, but they just don't know how to say no or not right now, maybe that's why they're not responding. Now, I know that some of these examples I just gave you are a little over the top, but I'm doing that on purpose because I want to infuse some humor into this. Because honestly, if we're going to allow our brains to make up stuff and stories, then let's make up some really, really good stories and have fun with it. And neutralize that negative feeling, right? Neutralize our responses. It makes it easier on us to keep doing the work that we need to do in order to grow our businesses. It makes it easier for us to continue to reach out, to continue to make the connections, having the conversations, uncovering the needs, and making the offers. Please tell me in the comments if you can relate to this. You guys, I have sent DMs to people that have said they want to join my free Facebook group. Here's an example. So I said, great. And I send them the link to join the group. And I say, please answer the membership entry question so we know that you're not a bot. And they don't join. Days go by. They don't respond. I could very easily say to myself, oh, they were just saying yes to be nice. They really aren't interested in joining my free group. But you know what? That's not my job to do that. I send them another DM. Hey, Susie Q. I wanted to make sure that Facebook delivered my message. If you're still interested in joining my group, the link is above. Do you know how many times I've heard from people and have said, thank you so much. This DM got lost. I was totally looking forward to that. I really appreciate you. Okay. So if I'm going to make up a story, I need to make up that story. That's a much better story. So let me walk you through some next steps, some ways to handle this situation that are going to feel good to you. And right before I do that, I'm going to pop into the comments. I just want to see, why are the comments not coming through? Well, heck, if you're making comments in the Facebook group, I can't see your comments because they're not coming through for some reason. So I will pop into the comments after the live is over and I will answer you there. So if you have a question, pop it in there and I'll answer it when I get finished. So let's walk through some next steps, some ways to handle this situation that will feel good to you. Instead of asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Or allowing your brain to spiral into thinking that you need to just shut down your business and go get a job, let's shift this into, okay, this person hasn't responded. I hope they're okay. I wonder what's going on in their world. They probably have a lot going on. Like I talked about, they dropped their cell phone, they cracked a tooth, maybe they have a flat tire, maybe they saw your message at the stoplight and intended to return it. So we can easily follow up with some empathy, some humor. And this is where your confidence has to kick in, my friends. You have to let your confidence kick in, and you have to remind yourself that just because they didn't respond does not necessarily mean they are not interested. I have invited people to my live masterclasses when I am launching Business Visibility Made Easy. And I can tell they got my DM because it shows that it was read and it was delivered. And I know they saw it, but they didn't respond. So I could easily tell myself, well, my masterclass topic sucks. Nobody wants to join my live masterclass, let alone my Business Visibility Made Easy program. But instead, I just reach back out because 90% of the time, their lack of response has nothing to do with us. So I could say something like, hey there, my friend, hope all is well with you. Did Facebook deliver my message? Or, hope it's okay to pop back in. I know you mentioned being interested in the past, so I wanted to be sure you saw my message. Let me know. Or, hey there, my friend, checking back in. Hope that's okay. Let me know if you're interested in XYZ, whatever it was I offered them. And what I'm doing in each of these examples, I want you to take note of this. I am asking them a question. When you are, and this is another training I have, is authentic conversations in the DMs. When we are DMing, when we are emailing, and we want a response, we cannot make a statement that ends in a period. We have to ask that person a question. It triggers their brain to respond. When you end your message, email, DM, text message, you want it to be a question. This prompts their brain to reply. It lets them know you're expecting a reply. So if I had said, hey, checking back in, period, that's a statement. And it's not clear to the other person that I'm expecting a response. So every time you message, text, DM, email, if you truly want a response, you've got to think of a way to phrase the end of your what you want to say in a question. So what do we do from here? We move forward regardless of the response. We do not attach ourselves to the outcome, to the results. Our job is to do the daily activity of reaching out, following up, keep going, reaching out, following up, keep going. We cannot wait for one person's response. We have to keep moving to have success and achieve the income goal that we want. And here's a pro tip. Know when to let people go. Put them on a list to follow back up in a few months. Move on. Don't give it another thought. On to the next person. Because when people are ready, they are ready. And no amount of poking and prodding is going to speed that up. Now, I do want you to stay patient. And I do want you to stay persistent. My award-winning success in sales in corporate was because I was patiently persistent. And the funny thing is, people told me that. And they respected me for that. My prospects told me that. They told me they appreciated it. They said, you're not really high pressure. You're just patiently persistent. I wasn't weird about it. I made genuine connections and I followed up. Sales and building businesses is a long game. A lot of people come into the online space thinking that building an online business is going to be easy. In some respects, it is a lot easier than building a brick and mortar franchise, stocking it with employees and cash registers and all that stuff. But that doesn't mean building an online business is easy. It's just different. And we've got to be willing to stay in it, following up, reaching out, making connections, not telling ourselves crap stories if we want to reach our income goals. So my hope today is that what you've taken away from this is that it's completely normal, it's completely human to have an emotional reaction to being ghosted. It doesn't feel good. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants to be ignored. But I hope that this has helped you shift your perspective, that sustains your confidence and leads you into empowered action to play the long game of continuing to follow up, continuing to reach out and build your business. All right, I'm going to check and see if Facebook is letting comments come through. It is not. I don't know why. If you're making comments and you have a question for me, I'll just have to answer it later. Dr. Anastasia, great to see you. She's coming to me live on YouTube. I love that. All right, my friends, here's what I want you to do now. When I was in corporate, I've mentioned to you that I had a very successful sales career. You've heard that background. I've mentioned it a couple times today. And the reason is because I find communication very easy. I do. I'm a talker. I'm an extrovert. I make relationships quickly. I make connections quickly. In the online space, most communication happens by email and in the DMs. I've got a free guide that is going to help you know what to say, when to say it, and have authentic conversations in the DMs that lead to sales. I want you to go to tracybeavers.com/DM and grab that. I'm going to pop this over into the Facebook comments. Oh, I see the comments now. Great. Give me 1 second. I will come back to you. Patty Ann's here. Katie's here. I love it. Courtney's here. Y'all, I thought I was talking to myself for a little bit. Michelle's here. Julie's here. I love it. Kevin said, I'll make it a point to have an open-ended question with, yes, an open-ended, end your DMs and your emails in a question mark. Yep, for sure, so that they do respond. Hey, Jenna Larson, great to see you. I'm so excited to see you here. All right, my friends, go to tracybeavers.com/DM and grab that guide to having authentic conversations in the DMs. Then I want you to be here live with me every Thursday at 11:30 Central. I want you to put it on your Google Calendar. I want you to set a phone alarm. And the biggest thing I want you to remember from this, I say this every single week for a reason, don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody can remember your name. And if you think you are alone feeling that way, you are not, my friend. It doesn't matter if you're on day 1, hour 1, or you're 15 years in making a gazillion dollars. We all have times when we feel like that, when it's crickets. When we're telling ourselves crap stories and we don't know how to respond and we start getting all emotional about things. That is when being in a community of support is going to be the key for you. So jump into my free Facebook group if you're not here already. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur. Get visible, grow your email list and your income. Come get support from 3,500 online entrepreneurs who feel the same way you do. I want you to have a great balance of the weekend. And I want you to remember that when one of us rises, we all rise. So we have got to keep cheering each other on. Okay, my friends, I will see you next week with another awesome training. Thanks for being here.